every bronco buster, there is money in the bag if you can ride 'em, cowboy. So get your riggin' ready and choose yourself a nag. Come on and try to ride 'em, cowboy. Cowboy, king of the plains so big and wide, sink your saddle up on the hide of a wild horse, cowboy. Cowboy, king of the range and rodeo, you are bound to get in the door to ride 'em, cowboy, ride 'em, cowboy.
In this Yuletide Western, Roy is a conservation agent who tries to help Jack Holt, who is raising and selling Christmas trees at affordable prices, when a commercial tree company, run by Emery Parnell's J. Corwin Aldridge, tries to drive him out of business. Unknown to Aldridge, his foreman, played by Clifton Young, has been sabotaging Holt's operation so he can sell the trees at higher prices and take the money for himself.
I don't think they'll hook us up with that Channing deal.
Not a chance. Our trees are going to be first on the market. As soon as the dealers pay off, we take right on out.
I didn't hear you mention Aldrich in that deal.
That's right, you didn't.
Aldridge's daughter, Toby, played by Penny Edwards, comes to town to convince Holt to sell his operation, and she clashes with Rogers, who she feels is biased against her father's company.
But you're a government man taking sides. I might even decide to report you.
Oh, is that so? Well, let me tell you something, young lady. I might decide to turn you over my knee like a spoiled six-year-old and...
Look, you know who I am? I'm J. Corwin Aldridge.
Is he telling the truth?
Never saw him before in my life.
What?
To quote the great J. Corwin, an Aldrich can always take care of himself.
Oh, shut up. Look, we've both been double-crossed, and if Holt's going to get his trees to market, somebody's got to get Mitch. He's going to burn the Red River Bridge.
When Aldridge himself comes to investigate the goings-on, he is kidnapped by Young, who sends his men to burn down the Red River Bridge. So Rogers enlists the help of Rex Allen, Alan Lane, Tom Tyler, Monty Hale, William Farnham, Ray Corrigan, Kermit Maynard, and Tom Keene to rescue the businessman and bring Holt's trees to market.
Howdy, Roy. I'm Crash Corrigan. Remember me? I sure do, Crash. Say, what's all the excitement about?
I've already talked about Ray Corrigan, who had gone back to wearing gorilla suits since the Range Busters had ended in 1943, and strapped his 6 guns on once again for this film.
And I need some practice, too.
Roy, you know these boys. Kermit Maynard.
Hi, Kermit. Roy.
Kermit Maynard, after completing his series for Ambassador Pictures, had gone back to doing supporting roles. The same goes for Tom Tyler, though he had starred as the Phantom for Columbia since leaving the Mosquitoes.
Here's the way I used to do it.
Hi, Rex. Hi, Roy. Am I too late to help?
I'll say you're not.
Rex Allen was a country western singer who had signed with Republic in 1949 and would continue with the studio until 1954, after Rogers had gone.
Hello, Roy. Well, Rocky Lane.
Allen Rocky Lane had been in movies since the late 20s, doing supporting roles for most of his early career before getting the lead in Republic's boxing film, The Duke Comes Back. He came back to the studio in the early 40s, starring in many of their serials, and then replacing Don Barry in his Western series when he went on to bigger roles. He then took over the Red Ryder role from Bill Elliott, who, like Barry, was moving into A Pictures. Finally, he began being billed as Rocky Lane in his final series for Republic, which lasted until 1953.
Gee, Monty Hale.
That's right. I came to help out, honey.
I have already related how Monty Hale was promoted by Herbert Yates when Gene Autry returned to Republic. He was yet another country singer who had been discovered by the studio in the mid-40s, and starred in many films for them in the intervening years. Trail of Robin Hood was his last film for Republic.
In case it's dull, I'm ready.
Tom Keene here.
Hi, Tom.
Hello, Roy.
I've also mentioned Tom Keene in connection with Robert Emmett Tansey, who directed many of his films for Monogram. He was born George DeRay, and appeared in many pictures in the silent era under that name before changing it to Tom Keene in 1930, when RKO tapped him to star in a low-budget Western series. He was in and out of motion pictures throughout the 30s, doing a few orders for Paramount, some historical dramas for Crescent Pictures, and a couple Western series for Monogram. In the mid-40s, he changed his name to Richard Powers, and spent some time on Broadway before returning to Hollywood to do supporting roles in westerns for RKO. Earlier in 1950, he had starred in Desperados of the West for Republic, which was to be his last starring role. For whatever reason, he was billed as Tom Keene again for this picture.
Rocky, pretty good.
Just two left, huh? Well, I always prefer the knife myself.
Speaking of Tansy, George Cheesebro, who played one of the villains in the director's Death Valley Rangers, also shows up in this film. Cheesebro had starred in a few westerns during the silent era, only to go on to become one of the genre's most recognizable baddies, a fact that is alluded to here.
Hello, Roy.
Hey, wait a minute. I know you. You're always a meanie.
I know, but after making 20 pictures with Jack Holt, he reformed me, honey.
Well, in that case, we can use you.
Well, I want to help, too. I'm Bill Farnham.
Brother of actor Dustin Farnham and of director Marshall Farnham, William Farnham had been a major star at Fox during the silent era, starring in many of their Zane Grey pictures, including, as I have mentioned, Riders of the Purple Sage, and many other westerns, as well as dramas and adventure films. By the time talking pictures arrived, Farnham was already in his 50s and had moved into supporting roles, which he would continue to do until his death.
A little high, Ray.
Seeing so many western stars together is certainly the highlight of Trail of Robin Hood. Roy's daughter Cheryl even makes an uncredited cameo appearance.
Mr. Holt, can we have your autograph?
You bet.
Nevertheless, the film has plenty of other qualities to recommend it.
Hey, what kind of shooting do you call that?
I must be using slow shot.
Come on, help me reload these things.
The comic relief, supplied by Gordon Jones and young Carol Nugent, as the hapless Splinters McGonagall and his rambunctious daughter, Sis McGonagall, is really quite endearing.
Are you going to investigate or do I have to?
I'll go. I don't know the meaning of the word fear. Well, I don't even know the meaning of the word cowardice.
You don't even know the meaning of the word cat.
Well, what I lack in brains, I make up for in ignorance.
Are you going over there or not?
Well, I want to see somebody in the livery stable.
Who?
Me.
Well, I'm going over there and see who's in Roy's office.
Now, wait a minute. It's too...
This is true of the film in general, which, appropriate to its Christmas setting, is rather quaint.
That old sun's a-shining and there's no need for pining. Throw away your troubles, be happy and free. Greet all your neighbors with a good, good morning. Everybody's welcome at the hometown Jubilee. Jubilee at the Jubilee.
The musical numbers Hometown Jubilee, Every Day is Christmas in the West, and Get a Christmas Tree for Johnny are quite good as well.
Get a Christmas tree for Johnny, for Jimmy, Jane, and Sue. Get a Christmas tree for Johnny if he's 2 or 92. When a Christmas tree is gleaming, its lights all bright and gay, then you know each heart starts screaming how old Santa's on his way. You'll hear their...
Foy Willing and the Riders of the Purple Sage back Roy up here, as they did in many of his films from this era. William Whitney, who helmed most of Rogers' later pictures, supplies some solid action. The fight between Roy and Clifton Young, shot mostly in silhouette, is particularly striking. Rogers is aided by his dog, Bullet. The pet of Roy Rogers and Dale Evans, Bullet was a German shepherd who first appeared with Roy in Eyes of Texas in 1948. He would continue to appear in Roy's pictures, and later on his television series. This is the last of Rogers' true color pictures. This two-strip process tended to give the films a rather muddy look, as opposed to the more vibrant appearance allowed by Technicolor's three-strip process. Republic put out 19 of these films with Roy between 1947 and 1950.